Look, you're a writer. I'm a writer. What we want most of all is to be able to spend as much time writing as we can. All right, okay, maybe we have a knack for putting it off when we can, but one way to get more time to write is to speed up how long it takes to do everything else that isn't writing. And today I want to enthuse you about how useful Control Center is on iPhone and iPad for exactly that. It's the fastest way I know to scan a QR code when you need, to identify a song on the radio, a couple of dozen different things, including two, count them, two ways to shut out the rest of the world so that we can get on with our writing. Hello, I'm William Gallagher and this is 58 Keys, which, as always, is for writers like you and me who write on Macs and iPhones and iPads. Do subscribe if that's you, because, you know, we've got so much to talk about. This is Control Center. You might already live in Control Center as I do. You might not even know that it has a name. I guarantee, though, you've accidentally gone into it sometimes. To deliberately bring up Control Center, you have to swipe down from the very top right of your iPhone or your iPad. If you do this on the day you bought your iPhone, you get a certain number of controls in Control Center as standard. Without adding to those, they are already incredibly useful, and actually they're more useful than they think, even when you know what they do. Look at this group of four, for example, at the top. I mean, that's airplane mode, mobile data. Very important topic at the moment in Britain, where I am, because we've just decided, to vote ourselves to have roaming charges. Anyway, there's also, less controversially, just about Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. In that block of four, tap on any of them to turn them on or off, and that would be it, except press and hold on any of the four of them and you get all these other controls. This is actually one way that you can concentrate on concentrate on your writing. Turn on airplane mode to switch out the world. Then we switch the world back on. Use this button to join different Wi-Fi networks. Next to that group, there's the music block, which, you know, should be fairly obvious, isn't it? Because there's a big play button and there's a big skip forward and back button. But up in the corner, there is the now only slightly visible extra control. It used to be completely invisible. It's now slightly visible. Press on that and you get the option to route the sound out, to hear the music playing through your phone as it was, through wireless headphones if you have those, through HomePods, through Apple TV. Now, actually, what I want to do today is to show you how to add different controls to all of this. But let me show you first just one more of the default ones that you get anywhere, because it's so useful and it's about to become even more useful for us. In iOS 14 and earlier, this crescent moon icon is Do Not Disturb. Press it once and wallop. That's it. Do Not Disturb is on, and depending on how much you've bother to fiddle with the Do Not Disturb settings, it basically means you're only going to get calls from people that you have decided are worthy of breaking your concentration and getting through. And actually, this is the second way to shut out the world when you need to write. Look closer though. Press and hold on it. Right now, mid-2021 in iOS 14, if you press and hold on that crescent moon, you get great options. It will always offer to turn off Do Not Disturb after an hour, to turn it off when it gets to this evening, or where you leave where you are. So say you've walked into a library, press and hold on when I leave bit, and then you do your work, you come out, and as you go, the phone switches Do Not Disturb back on. Also, by the way, if you have an event in your calendar at the moment, there'll be an extra option that says keep on Do Not Disturb until after the event is over. And it's tremendously useful in iOS 14. And in the forthcoming iOS 15, look at that, focus mode. Do Not Disturb is not going away, it's becoming bionic. And again, it needs setting up and a bit of fiddling, and you can bet anything that we are going to talk about focus mode more when it becomes available for everybody, because it is built for you, for writers. It just they've got to have been thinking of us when they designed it. We'll come back to it. For any of these settings though, you tap a button, right? Anything in Control Center at all, not just these, you tap a button and you get on with something. Tap to switch on airplane mode, go off and do your work, come back, tap to switch on, fine. That is great and tremendous, and it is just about exactly half the story. The other half of the story is that while you cannot change any of these default controls right up at the top bit, you can add about 25 more if you want. Add one of them, add all of them, add none. It's completely up to you, and you can rearrange a lot of them into any order you like. Take a look at mine. I have so many I actually have to scroll, but just to pick some favorites out, this is a QR scanner that I mentioned. I honestly thought the QR codes had gone, they'd died, but they seem to be back. And this is the fastest way I know to use one. You see a QR code, swipe down, tap button, scan, you're gone. This one is Shazam, the music identifying thing. I always seem to realise that I want to know what a piece of music is just as the track is about to come to an end. So I need to be in there fast. This is it. Quick way to get Shazam listening. Yeah, then this one is a magnifier. I must be getting old. You know cooking instructions that are printed in like 1 point size text? I use the magnifier to show me those. Yeah, I want to move on from that one. Let me show you all 25. Open settings for me on your iPhone or iPad, tap on Control Center. Make sure that access within apps is on, by the way, because otherwise you always have to leave an app, go back to the home screen before you can use Control Center, and I just can't see the point of that at all. So leave that one on, make sure it's on. There's also a home option. I'm counting that as one of the 25, but if I turn that on, then my Control Center gives me quick access to several lights in my house, a button for each of them. Below then is a list of all the ones that I have added. And this below that is a list of all the ones I haven't, but I could. As with so much in iOS, you get these two lists. There's an active or installed one, and there's a not yet installed, but could be one. Tap on the green plus sign next to something you want on the not yet list, and boom, it moves up into the active one. And equally, tap on the red minus sign on the active list, and then tap remove to confirm, and it's gone. Gone from your active list, torn from the Control Center and shoved down into the riffraff, the inactive list below. One last thing, by the way, notice about the top half of the list, the active list. Notice the grab handles. Tap and hold on any of those, and you can drag to rearrange their sequence. I actually have a problem with this. I can't visualize it very well. I can't picture what my new Control Center sequence will look like, because what we're doing is rearranging a horizontal or vertical list, and Control Center itself is a series of horizontal icons in grids. So what I do is I drag to rearrange, then I come out, I check Control Center, see what it looks like, maybe go back in and drag them around again. Or rather I did, because the truth is that once you've set this up once, I don't think you ever come back. I mean, certainly, even just now to show you, I had to scratch my head a bit and fiddle to find out where it is, because it's been so long. And now that I have been in the setup thing a couple of times today, I think it's the first couple of times in some years, and I know by comparison I'm using the actual Control Center itself 10 times a day maybe for different things, something like that. It's been a boon for me, and there are certain things that can be an especial boon for you, I think. You have to go through and pick the controls you want, and then you might well fiddle. I find the magnifier is quite handy where my thumb can just go. I've got the torch that's nearby there as well. The remote control for my TV set is in there, and these things. And they're where I tend to look for them, other control. So it takes some time fiddling with the order of them. It takes some time fiddling with what you want on there at all. And Control Center is incredibly handy on an iPhone and on an iPad. That's it for 58 keys this time. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for watching. And also thank you to the UK's Arts Council for giving me a grant to develop 58 keys natterings like this. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon.